Let me give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go, take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge their self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, Coffee Talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew. From day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go. I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm Gizmo. Come from my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this pistol I'm skillful. She can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in, we need to know. Your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show, let's go.
What's up? I was muted. We're here for the evening streams. I apologize if it hit your audio too loud. We are here talking about today my Superman score, James Gunn's Superman score. Mild spoilers. I got you to see it twice now, right? So I got a chance, like the first. I did my video and shout out to y'all supporting that one. It was a little jarring. I was a little jarring at first. You entering a new world, you entering these sci-fi worlds, it does something to you. And I gave my thoughts, and I think I made it very clear. This isn't the greatest Superman film ever. This isn't the greatest DC film ever. So let's cut out all that fluff. But let's talk about it. This ain't a trash film. And I'm going to talk about stuff that I liked actually about the film. And we're going to do a little more in-depth because I try to keep it non-spoiler because I saw it, earlier than most of the world. So now most of the world is seeing this. Thursday previews. We got some numbers. We got some projections. I don't care what anyone personally thinks because online discourse is bad faith arguments at this point. I've seen it in real time. I sat back and watched how people moved with the Jurassic World numbers, and now you're getting projections of Superman. I see how people moving. I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now as far as box office. I've been introduced to some pretty good theater exhibitors who they know box office numbers. Obviously, a network because of Mikey Sutton, the late great Mikey Sutton, and I've met more people even since then, independently. And I trust the numbers. We'll talk about it. Because if you challenge the number, you're challenging my sources. So we're gonna talk about that today. We're gonna stand on something today. What's good? What's good, Sil Nation? I see Agent 47 is one of my new favorite commenters in the chat. Music City, Maria bringing the heat. Fernando, yeah, DCU is DCU up. We're gonna talk about it today. Ouroboros, what's good? We got Daniel up there. He says F. Patterson, Mooney Face, what's good? Let's talk about it. Is it the best DCU film? It's kind of not fair. It's automatically the best DCU film. Hilarious. I love it, man. So I'm gonna get more in depth of what I liked about the film and things I didn't like. There's one sequence I saw it twice, so I went to see it again. So I had the Amazon advanced screenings Tuesday, and then I bought the Thursday premiere ticket, so I went to go see that this early evening. And I will say right now, we're talking about numbers. Yeah, we're talking about numbers. I practice numbers. Shout out to Michael Charles. I will say on the offset, seeing James Gunn Superman film a second time, I liked it better the second time. I will admit that I liked it better the second. The first time is, and this part with any film, I'm just trying to grab onto what I can. It's like it's a new world. So much stuff going on, and you kind of just land where you land. And I gotta see this. If I like it, I liked it the first time. If I don't like it the first time, you don't get a second watch, right? But I liked how it ended the first time. So it's okay. I want to see it again. So I saw it again. Now I have a proper view of the film and the scoring. So we're going to talk about that today. And then how is this tracking, projections, CinemaScore, audience score, stuff that I lean on. If it doesn't hit with this, it's all for nothing. Like this is a monumental weekend, not just for DC and Warner Brothers, for the film industry overall. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this. If either the forecast is going to hit with this film, or we can't trust any forecast in the future. We'll talk about this more in the future on this stream. So my Superman score, mouse spoilers. We're going to get into that. For sure. But first off, with Sil Nation, to make it very clear, resist the uninformed, because people don't know how box office works. They don't know how projections work. They're going off emotions. That's not Sil Nation. I just want to let you know this. No, we go off data. We go off the information. All right. Now you can disagree with the information, but don't challenge. Don't challenge the data and the exhibitors and people I've built up information with for 3 to 4 years now. Don't challenge that. Now, if they're proven wrong, I will go publicly and say, their projections was off. Now, don't test the gangsters here. Results only. It's been a lot of talk about the Superman film for 2 years, really. I mean, it was probably 1 year, but the point is that I'm about the results. I really don't care what you personally think about this film or any film. And I got that edge because of Snyderverse. I'm a fan of the Snyderverse. I'm a fan of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, BVS, Snyder Cut. And when Man of Steel came out, and I saw people on Facebook, I was in those Facebook groups in 2013, hating on Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder. I built like a shell. Like, I don't care about personal views. No. Does this look dope to me? Okay. I'm going to let you know this is dope. You disagree? Okay, I don't care. Oh, you snapped the neck? I don't care if you mad about that. All right? That's how I come into this. And so, but at the end of the day, it's about results. Results only. Still Nation, we again resist the uninformed, people that act like they don't understand how numbers work. And then if the results are there, we going with the results. So if this film hits, it's because the numbers are there. We're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about it. What we got? What we saying in the chat? We got Fernando. Like I said, I had someone today. I was like, bro, I'm trying to get away from the internet talk of the just films in general, CBMs, obviously, Marvel, DC, whatever. And they was trying to proceed to text me the stuff they see on Twitter. I'm saying, bro, when I sign off of Twitter, when I log off, I close Twitter. I don't want someone texting me on my phone Twitter jargon. Like, get the F out of here, bro. Nah, I'm about results. Is the film successful or is it not? I don't care personally what you feel overall. If it fails by the numbers, we're going to talk about it. If it succeeds by the numbers, I'm going to talk about it. Now, the forecast going into this film, it's trending up. Hey, if it hurts your feelings, I can't wait for people's feelings to catch up. We're moving forward. With these streams, bro. Like, hey, it is what it is. Overall. Now, before we get to my thoughts of my second watch of James Gunn's Superman. Now, first off, I want to say, if we're going to have a late night stream, we're on X Twitter. We're pretty hardcore on X Twitter. We're on YouTube as well. We'll do more of these late night streams if people will show up for them. We have pretty good numbers this last couple of weeks. Even if they don't catch it live, they catch it in the morning. And with Superman, there's people who still haven't seen the film yet. So they may watch this tomorrow after they see Friday, when I say that, talking from Thursday, to see the film. So definitely, we may do more late night streams if people, again, are there to support them as well, too. Now, before we get to the my mild spoilers thoughts and my score of James Gunn's Superman, we have to talk about this is Thursday, so we got some box office numbers for the box office gate right now. Let's go. Box office battle. F your feelings. It's about box office battle. It's about the numbers, man. I mean, I've made this very clear for a couple of years now, how we look at these forecasts, and I check with my sources and theater exhibitors overall. And this is the latest forecast of box office battles. We're talking about Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, and F1 film, or F1 movie, whatever you can call it. I don't care about your personal thoughts on this. Every time Box Office Pro comes out with these projections, it lines up with most theater exhibitors around the world. Could there be some anomalies? Could it be, things that hit and some don't? Yeah. I mean, it's human, but we're not going to be uninformed about how this works. And I'm not going to spend too much time with people who come in here in the chat uninformed. We're just not going to do that anymore. It's a waste of time. So, Box Office Pro, pretty head on what they talk about with these numbers, and let's talk about it right now. So, Superman, the projections are coming in. It's out right now, globally. So we can't worry about misinformed people. We just can't anymore. But as far as this week, the day before it came out, it had a 115 to 135 parameter. Now, I don't trust a $20 million range. I never do. I never did. People that have watched my channel long enough, y'all know kind of how I rock with this. Now, I will say this right now. There's some that watch my channel for years and they still don't understand how box office works. So it's like, I can't even. So I'm just going to present the information. I'm not going to worry about people that's uninformed putting comments in the chat anymore. I can't. If you super chat it out, I'll pay attention. But if you're talking nonsense, I'm just not even going to pull up your chat anymore. Superman, 115 million to 135 million. It's held up projections for a good month now. In my experience with projected numbers is that long-term forecast, and I learned this in 2022. And again, if people that really rocked with my channel, y'all kind of saw the evolution. Matt Reeves' Batman came with a long-term forecast like 170. And I was like, oh, BS, nah. Matt Reeves' Batman ain't getting that. And then it kind of hovered back down to like 140, and that's what it did. It's opening weekend. So it always comes out overly crazy. I think Superman was like 175 like 3 weeks ago. I did a live stream talking about it. People that deals with box office numbers, not just feelings and what you personally want. We're talking about theater exhibitors around the world. So I kind of got to just check that where it's at. There's one thing to be opinion, but if it's just straight up misinformation, I can't take you seriously. So with this 175 a couple weeks ago, I thought that I said that was a inflated number. I said that live, but it don't matter what I say live. People still just go off of their emotions. So it's leveled off to today or last night, 115 to 135. I've been saying 100 million plus for a couple months now. And I went up to 120 when I saw the haters were scrapping and scraping to watch this film opening day, early screenings, Amazon screenings. They want to see it Tuesday. I ain't gonna wait till Thursday or Friday. The haters wanted to see this as early as possible. So it's at 115 to 135. So my 120 mark stands, which means the over 100 million plus stands. That's what this film is likely going to do. And then if you're talking about international, they're saying 100 plus globally. So this will have a 200 million plus splash. And my next stream is Saturday. So we're going to look at the numbers as it's coming in. Again, I don't know what people thought. I don't know what people thought how this was going to go. Yeah, people think it's going to be like The Flash. I covered that in real time. Well, the projections were sky high a month before Flash came out. And then when it got closer to the film, those numbers shrunk to like 50 million, which is what it did. Superman started high, just like Matt Reeves' Batman and The Flash. And it's hovered to what we see here by trusted box office exhibitors around the world. So again, am I going to trust exhibitors that I've congregated with for 3 years plus now, or a pissed off Twitter post? Where do you think I'm going to side with this? I'm going to go with the sourcing. Now, if the sourcing doesn't hit, then I'll be the first one to admit, this is screwed now. But I haven't seen this happen in about 3 or 4 years now. So it's a good chance Superman's going to open up 100 million plus, and my number is 120. with that overall. So that's Superman. Jurassic World Rebirth, you got 35 to 45 million. First opening weekend was 90 million. So you're talking about a potential 55 to 60% drop of the film because they had a bad audience score. And so this weekend is going to educate people how box office works. Because again, I've been sitting back just letting people talk, even though I've been doing this for 3 to 4 years now. Let's get your opinion because I'm damn near an expert. You got people saying I watch 5 reviews for my favorite films, especially if it's DC, and they name Tyrone Magnus and Jeremy Johns, but up in that top 5 is sylabdul. Now that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm just a head review. No, people just know I rock with DC, and I'm very honest with it if I'm not rocking with it. So, hey, I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. Now, I gave you a non-spoiler version. We're gonna give you a fuller review tonight. I'm gonna give you a score tonight. That's just what it is. Cause like I allow people just to talk like they know how this works. I know how these numbers work. I don't like to toot my own horn with that, but it's like, no, I was like, you don't sit here in a conversation with me like you know how these numbers work. And we're gonna talk about it tonight, all right? We're gonna talk about it tonight. So Jurassic World, like I said, CinemaScore, if you're under a B plus, because B plus does not equal B. All right, let me. I hate to pull this up, but we just got to kind of know right now. Like if I'm bringing the information, bro, like don't don't sleep on Smurfs. Don't discount my information. Now don't do that. Hold up. Right here. Jurassic World Rebirth. In my 4 years of covering box office films, if you have a cinema score under B plus, meaning B plus is not equal to B. Like if you did a test and you got a B plus in college, that's better points than a B in college. A B in cinema score is vastly worse than a B plus because that means you only got the hardcores. If you had a front loaded opening, you only got the hardcores. Jurassic World Rebirth is going to drop like a rock this weekend, just according to the numbers, not feelings, not feelings. I don't care about personal feelings. I care about data and analytics. Right? I'm becoming like Mr. Terrific right now. Because I don't care about personal feelings anymore. Because it doesn't matter what happens in your rinky-dink town in Ohio. My little theater, it wasn't sold out for Superman. That means it's gonna flop. F out of here. Care about your rinky-dink town in Ohio, bruh? I don't care if you don't like it. Like I'm saying, like it don't matter. It's about the masses of numbers. That's what box office is, and that's why I say, Jurassic World Rebirth is going to not have the best, not going to have the best time this weekend. Now we'll see. Hey, anomalies happen, but anomalies are one of one situations. I don't know if my camera acted when I said that. One of one situation. So it's not about this is a telltale for every single situation. We could talk about these anomalies, and we will as well too. So anyway, let's get off of this. We're going back to box office battles. Oh yeah, let's pull up Jurassic World. Let's actually pull that up. Numbers don't lie. And that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, if this Superman was coming out of the gate slow, don't you know that would have been like a great title to my stream? Saying, oh, Superman ain't, you know, he ain't coming out the gate. The people that's again watch my platform, and actually, I can't even trust that. Again, there's people that watch my channel for like 5 years. They're the dumbest people on Twitter. So I can't even I can't even say no. Watching my channel is going to give you knowledge. Nah, you're gonna be dumb either way. But numbers don't lie, for sure, for sure. Jurassic World Rebirth is at 350 before this weekend. It's going to get another. I'll give it another 40, and then whatever globally happens, this film is going to fight to possibly get to 700. See, this is why. Hold on, let me make this very clear. Hold on. Anyone out there that's saying, "Oh, because the film got 350 million in 2 weeks, it's going to do another 350 million in the next 2 weeks." That's not how it works. That's never how it works. Jurassic World Rebirth is going to be fighting for his life in the month of July. And I say I was being nice last week. I said I'll give it 7. After I saw the audience score, I said I'll give it 7. It will fight. It'll be a real fight domestically. And let me pull this up here to get the 300. Just focus on the domestic number. And because I want to just make this clear for people. Don't come in the chat just spreading misinformed information. Jurassic World Rebirth is going to be fighting for its life to get 300 domestic, and that's ahead of international numbers. So what do you think it's going to do international? It's not going to make 400. I'm sorry, I was reading something else. Okay, hold on. If it's fighting for its life to get 300 million domestically, it only goes down every week, folks. I don't know if you understand how this works. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't understand how box office works week to week, and that's fine. But if it's fighting to get the 300 and international is behind it, because that's what I heard from the people random people that don't know how box office works. Oh, international is going to carry Jurassic World Rebirth. This is a live look of his box office. Shout out to Black Wolf. First off, Black Wolf, I know I've been promising the Miami trip several years now, but I think this winter it's going to happen. I got my personal life together. We got to come out to Miami, Florida. Black Wolf. Black Wolf has been supporting Sil Nation for several years now. I never take it for granted. And as things have evolved, we're getting rid of misinformed people. Shout out to you, Black Wolf Inc. So I just want to let you know that right now. And then your question or comment here. Just saw Superman, says, was I right or was I right? Now, I think you were saying this will be at the very least, it's a solid film. And I will expound more on that. I say this James Gunn Superman is not the greatest. Carlos, you gotta be down there. If I go to see Black Wolf, Carlos gotta be down there too. This winter. This James Gunn film, no, it's not in rarefied air like The Diner, or as I put Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. No, it's not there. But it's not the worst film like the campy Superman 3 and Brandon Routh's Superman Returns, respectfully. It's no, it's a solid. This James Gunn film, I saw it twice now. This is a solid film. Like it's a family film. It's going to get its numbers off of the family. Every time I go see the Superman film, you got like older crowds there. You got the boomers and their wives there with them. So you got the older crowd, which is, I won't say like a rare thing with comic book films, but you got like a crowd where you got older people supporting Superman. And then you're hoping the Gen Z and younger crowds fill in this weekend. Now the audience score, who do you think's putting in those audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes? That's not the boomers. So you're getting a pretty good crowd with this Superman film, is the point. Let's catch up with the super chats here. He said, was I right or was I right? He's all right, but we gotta talk on Discord. We gotta catch up. Oh, for sure. Black Wolf. My Discord is still active. I'm never on there, but let's chat it up, man, because we definitely got to catch up. It's a wild time with DC right now, for sure. Shout out to Black Wolf Inc. So let's go forward with this. I don't even know why I brought up Jurassic. Oh yeah, because of these numbers. So Jurassic World. So again, hey, it's going to cross 400 million globally this weekend. The international is tracking behind domestic, but we'll see if it ends up being like an even 300. I'm just saying the number for this film, Jurassic World Rebirth, to make is 700 million because they spent less on this, on the film, on the marketing, everything compared to its predecessors. And I've been saying this for months, or at least a month, weeks. I'll say weeks. But, and again, that's based off the public numbers and then the exhibitors that I talked to. So again, it's all been lining up, and that's what it's doing. Real quick, F1 movie. Shout out to Brad Pitt. He got over 300 million for Apple Studios, and that's good. That's good on the resume, right? That's what this type of film is. Is that it looks good on your resume to do an Apple Studios film and get over 300 million. Doesn't mean he's killing it. I think the budget is 200 plus, but it's about winning those headlines. All right. It's about winning those headlines. And I say this every stream. Some people still don't catch it when I say it. Apple doesn't care about the profit overall, to be quite honest with you. Apple is like, can we advertise stuff and sell iPhones? And we got some IP that we can work with. That's all that Apple cares about. So they stole a couple of headlines. W for Apple Studios. So that's the forecast for, again, Superman this week. Let's see. Let's go to this next thing here. We just kind of breakneck speed tonight, and then again we'll get to my thoughts. I got people betting me online now. This is amazing. It's amazing. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. So, James Gunn Superman. Yeah, again, I saw the Tuesday Amazon early screening. Had a really great time. They had a special video for us. I meant to mention this on the last video, is that when they did the Amazon screening, it was a special video from James Gunn and the Trinity, or the trio of the film, which is Corn Sweat, Holt, Brosnahan. And they carried the film. Now, in my initial review, I said, Nicholas Holt Lex ain't like goated to me. And I still say that. But again, I want to make it very clear. Nicholas Holt did a great job in this film. I just got to compare it to previous experiences. That's what we do as humans. And if Cornsweat's giving me something new, and Brosnahan is stepping it up every scene she's in, right? Every scene Rachel Brosnahan's in, she's bringing it. It's a quality scene every time. Nicholas Hoult, great. I just felt he kind of fell into just like blase. I'm a bad guy and I'm mad. That's just what I felt in real time. And then watching it again, I was like, no, Nicholas Hoult is talented, but again, is Michael Rosenbaum. And then you talking about dialogue, Lex. Jesse Eisenberg ate up every scene he got in BVS. Jesse Eisenberg was dropping quotables. You fans out there of Nicholas Hoult, give me a good quotable. Just give me one that you're like, oh, he ate that scene up. No, it just I'm not saying like he was like just like stealing checks. He was there to work. And I'm gonna talk about what I like about him in my review. But it's just, this is why I don't put him in that rarefied air of Michael Rosenbaum. And I think Jesse Eisenberg ate up BVS. And that's thanks to the script and and everything with that. That's all. That's all it is. All right. So as far as thank you. This is all I'm saying. Not saying I dislike Nicholas Hoult. And part of this too is that I was going into James Gunn Superman saying, oh, Nicholas Holt's going to take me home. Like when I see him, he's going to eat up this scene. But it's like, nah, Rachel Brosnahan ate up every scene. And when she was with Cornsweat in the scene, Cornsweat leveled up. But it's great. If you like Holt, it's great. This is my opinion. It's all good. It's all good. If God is all powerful, he can't be all good. If he's all good, he can't be all powerful. That's Eisenberg. Come on now. Walk with me on this, man. Don't. We ain't gonna front. He's more superior Lex Luthor because he could balance a serial killer with insane billionaire genius. Now, one thing Nicholas Hoult did, and when we get to our review, we'll talk about it. But let's get into these numbers. And super chats are open, so y'all can throw in your super chats. But I'm gonna get into my story, and then we're gonna get through this, right? So right now, Thursday night Eastern Standard Time, these numbers came out that Superman's on pace to match Matt Reeves' Batman Thursday preview numbers. Matt Reeves' Batman did 21.6. 21.6 in preview numbers. James Gunn Superman's on pace to do 22.5, meaning it will, in this instance, surpass Matt Reeves' Batman. Agent 47 is on a roll always. What does this mean? These are really good Thursday preview numbers. Like I want to put this in context, and actually we will right now because I got the article. And this is a funny time for me because in 2022, Matt Reeves' Batman, I wasn't a believer initially. And then when those numbers came out, it's like I had to understand the science of these box office numbers. So let's take y'all back to 2022 because James Gunn Superman is projected to do better than the numbers we're about to talk about right now. I want people to understand this. This is why I put out there, I think this film has all the markings of a box office success. Now for feelings is off of numbers. Box office, The Batman earns a heroic $21.6 million in Thursday previews. Now we'll see if Superman actually does this. Will this be the headline tomorrow for Superman? $22 million We'll see. We'll see. But in 2022, this was the headline. Matt Reeves' Batman's killing it. It's eyeing a debut of 100 million or more. It got 140. It's really nice to look back on these articles and then the information we have. We go in. DC thinks we get 40. I don't think it's gonna get 40, bro. Let's relax. But they was like, oh, Matt Reeves' Batman will do 100 million plus. It did 140. So if you got similar pre-sales like Matt Reeves' the Batman, let's put it into context. Spider-Man No Way Home, 50 million for his Thursday debut or Thursday previews. Matt Reeves' Batman, 21.6. Todd Phillips' Joker got 13 million Thursday preview. That's under Matt Reeves. But Joker did $1 billion. Aquaman, 13 million Thursday previews. It ended up doing $1 billion. Studio Squad got 20 million. Did 700 million, right? So I'm ready to just say this right now. If James Gunn's Superman does over 20 million for his Thursday preview, this film will at least do 700 million worldwide. What did globally? What did Studio Squad do for its opening weekend? I'm gonna pull it up real quick, because that was just based straight off of hype, as much hype as DC could give it, and they still somehow messed that film up. But opening weekend 133. So this is all I'm gonna say. Again, we can talk about feelings. I'm about results. This is why the Silver Nation, results only. There's so much time for talk. People been giving y'all fake information about the film and all this stuff. I want the results. If you're on pace to do the similar numbers of Matt Reeves' Batman and Studio Squad as well, and they got 130 opening, man, Superman may get 140 now, but I'm just gonna say 120. I'm just gonna say 120 right now. I said 100 million plus the whole time. The numbers are there. See, I'm tired of people, just saying general stuff and not going off of the data. So it's not about explaining nothing anymore to people. You see, Spider-Man No Way Home 50. Matt Reeves' the Batman got 21.6. You got Joker, Aquaman, Studio Squad got 20 plus. James Gunn's Superman is on pace, according to this here, to get 22.5. 22.5 is what this is doing. Projected. And we'll see what it actually does. Results only. I don't care. I don't care about feelings. I don't. I had someone texting me today talking about some internet stuff. I'm like, bro, if you got my personal number, I guarantee I don't want to hear anything about internet stuff when you're texting me personally. Like, get out of here. What you talking about? These are the numbers, right? So comparing this to Matt Reeves' Batman, that's the comparable comparison overall. What we saying in the chat? Hold up, because I've been monologuing for a minute. What we saying in the chat? The Studio Squad. Do you personally hope Superman and Fantastic Four do well? I mean, I like the CBM genre. I mean, you got too many people caught up in hating everything and everything's woke and everything, all this stuff. I want all these films to do well because I'm enjoying it every week. I've been having a good month watching Jurassic World Rebirth, and a week later seeing Superman a couple times. I'm gonna see Fantastic Four next is it next Thursday? In 2 weeks. So I'm enjoying this. All right. So just to answer your question, yeah. What else we got? Interesting. Results only. It's been too much talk. There's been too much giving y'all fake news and just talking whatever out of whatever side they want to talk about. Um, it hasn't been hitting. Let's go to the Rotten Tomatoes conversation. I guess let's just do it. I thought I had it up there. It's coming. There we go. Rotten Tomatoes. There's a couple things at play that people, if they watch my platform enough, know that I don't lean too much into the critic side of Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care. I feel like it's a waste of conversation to be like, oh, the critics did this. After all these years, especially Snyder fans, why are we still talking about critics when they crapped on Zach and they kind of like, what is the point at this point? We knew James Gunn's going to have the critics. So it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And most cases with films is that audience has a better gauge than the critics. That's just what's been happening in our lifetimes, right? So you got the critic score certified fresh. You got that headline. Boom. Guns pay critics. But now I guess they're paying audiences now, according to people. Oh, hold on. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm glad when examples come up. We're gonna talk about it. It's the audience. They see the fresh and the high audience. I will caveat with this. Audience sees the critic high score, and I believe older audiences care about Rotten Tomatoes still critic scores. But that's not the majority of the box office. But yes, critic scores, fresh scores, it does help the initial audience. But that audience still has to react to the film. Hence the audience score. And we're going to get the CinemaScore tomorrow night. Now, no matter who owns Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score does weigh a factor. And this is going to give you an idea of what CinemaScore is going to do. If this is a dang near perfect audience score, now people say, oh, because it was the Thursday audience, the Tuesday audience, that's what set the audience score. But now we're in Thursday evening. It's still 95 after the Thursday audience. Oh, wait till the Friday, Saturday. No, it's already set, bro. This is what determines the word of mouth and audience score. Now, again, Rotten Tomatoes, it could be all over the place, but audience is a good factor. CinemaScore tomorrow will likely be an A or A plus. Now, if the film is an A plus, like I don't think the world's ready for this James Gunn Superman to get an A plus CinemaScore. Like that pub would be ridiculous. But I think it will get an A. I don't think it'll be an A minus. If it's high 90s on audience, we're talking about audience. Because the last stream, people say, oh, audience don't matter no more because they don't agree with me. We're talking about audience score now. So now the audience getting paid? Don't be a sore loser out there, y'all. Don't do that. This has been a tried and true formula for every single film. This is how I feel that Jurassic World Rebirth will have a large drop. And then I feel James Gunn Superman will have a good audience word of mouth because of the audience score. It's that simple. Gunn paid the audience. Even the one seeing it today, he paid them Tuesday. This marketing budget, it's got to be over $300 million now. Musty felt by design in the chat. Yeah, I think A, it could be even A plus. If this is keeping up on audience Rotten Tomatoes, over, if you see this, you got nearly 3,000 verified users. So let's see. No, some people say if you go to, hold on, let me do this. People say when you go here, it's like some fake audience or all audience score. So let's go there. Over 5,000, and do we see this on the screen? Over 5,000 audience. This is pretty much a 90. So this is an A CinemaScore. When we see this tomorrow, the score will come out tomorrow. Audience. We're not talking about critics no more, y'all. I don't know why people still keep thinking we're talking about critics. We're talking about audience. Oh, it's not real audience. It's not real. No. This is how we forecast films for our entire lifetime. Amazing. My friends who was casual liked it more than I did, gave it an 8. So the audience score is right in line with them. I mean, this is the audience score. Like, I don't know. Like, on my channel, I never talk about critics. So it's like, throw that out the window. That's a good headline. You get a certified fresh critic score. Go all in. This is going to have pretty much a 90 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, meaning I think this is an A on CinemaScore tomorrow night. Now, if they mess around, get an A plus, then feelings is going to be hurt. Wow. So the numbers are there with that, right? So that's one thing. Again, they got the preview numbers. It's got the audience numbers. I mean, the critics, I knew James Gunn again. James Gunn gets the critics. Not surprised. So that's where we're at. Let's see if they show up. These are the numbers. What are we even talking about anymore? These are the projections. It's in line with Matt Reeves' The Batman. Results only, not feelings. I don't care about feelings anymore. I do not care. So that's what it's looking like, right? So that's that. Let's again, we got the expected box office situation. Okay, we got a super chat here. Let's catch up. Nick, you're dead on with the CinemaScore prediction. Now that you're seeing it twice, automatic rewatch once it's available to buy. Oh no, this is when I ranked it. When I first saw it Tuesday, I said I can't say greatest DC film ever. Like you're talking about Nolan, you're talking about all kinds of stuff. So I just said let's talk about greatest Superman films ever. Let's have that conversation, right? The Donner films, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, I think the first Donner film and Zack Snyder Man of Steel is quintessential origin stories, and I don't think any Superman film will approach those films ever. And then you put Superman 2 up there, I feel, with the Kryptonians, Zod and the crew. After that, it's been kind of crappy Superman films. Superman 3, Superman Returns. I like Quest for Peace, Superman 4, but it's watchable, but it's not a great film. James Gunn's Superman is over all the others, right? I can't sit here in good faith watching how the film's put together and say it's like the worst Superman film ever. Then I'm like, okay, you don't like Superman. If you're saying this James Gunn film is the worst Superman film ever, I'm sorry, you don't like Superman as a character. I'm just going to say it. Again, I don't care about personal feelings anymore. No one cares about facts and stuff anymore, so I'm just going to say it. But it's not up there with the Donner films and, in my opinion, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. You can't touch those films, in my opinion. So is this better than the others? Yes. And we're going to get into just my review, my mild spoiler review. Because I'm gonna throw some things out. I kept a non-spoiler Tuesday because it's too early. We can't talk spoilers that early. But we're going to throw a few in story spoilers. We're going to do a full spoiler stream Saturday afternoon. Just to let y'all know, we're just going to let all the ending out. So when I say mild spoilers, I'm saying we're not going to spoil the ending of the film. There's still people that haven't seen this film yet, James Gunn's Superman. But it's going to be elements of the first two acts that I will probably spoil this evening. Right? But to answer this question here, is this an automatic rewatch? Oh, yeah, no, this is automatically in my library. As, again, just a film, the IMAX ratio and things like that. Like, this is not a bad film. My gripes with the first act, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that right now. Let's get into it now. My Superman score, mild spoilers. So, what I will say with this film, and again, if you don't want no mild spoilers, this is the time to tap out. Come back this weekend. We're going to do full spoilers Saturday. But it'll be maybe parts of the first act and a half or two that may be spoiled for you this evening, right? So, the beginning of the Superman film, I alluded to this Tuesday. Poetically, James Gunn knows how to structure a film. I'm just telling you, he knows how to structure a film. So this film opens up and he's like, 3 centuries ago, metahumans, arrived on Earth or exists. Then it says 3 decades ago, an extraterrestrial arrived to Earth. That's Kal-El. And then he's like, 3 years ago, he announced himself as Superman. It's like a nice 3. It's a symmetric thing. It's like a poem, how this film opens. I'm like, damn, like, is Gunn going to cook like this? Like, is Gunn, like, 4D chesting us? The rule of 3. And 3 is a divine number, right? So Gunn, like, seeded that in the beginning of the film. He's like 3 decades, 3 years ago. And then what did he say? Like 3 hours ago, the Hammer of Baravia, fought Superman. And then it said, 3 minutes ago, Superman lost his first fight. And then boom, you got Superman, everything we saw in the trailer. Crypto, take me home. Go to the fortress. Like, that was a very effective opening to just a film, period. And I was like, damn, I see people just talking with their agendas and stuff. I'm like, well, no, that was a good opening. That was a pretty good opening to this film. And then again, you get to the fortress, and then you get Crypto acting up like we saw in the 5-minute preview. 3 days ago, he stopped the war. Yeah. So it's like, it's that rule of 3. That's the point I'm making, is that it was a very symmetric opening And I was like, man, that played really well. And seeing this a second time, I'm gonna say it right now. I like the film actually better seeing it the second time. So, and then we'll get to the score in a moment here. But we get here with Superman. This is the opening sequence going to the fortress. We saw this scene. We get more stuff in the fortress. Crypto acting up, and Superman gets healed up, and he is setting the tone of the film is that Superman could be hurt. Superman could be hurt, and that he needs the sun to heal. Gunn set all these parameters in the first couple minutes. Just crazy. Then you get to this first act of the film, and what I will say, as I said Tuesday, I was like, oh, it could be some editing issue and stuff like that. You kind of see where they just wanted to kind of make this more of a linear story. But what I will give respect to now again is Nicholas Hoult. You go to Luthor Corp, right? And it's like this whole, it's set up like Battleship. And maybe I'm dating myself when I say this. It's like set up like Luthor has all these, these devices, and he can see Superman and surveying, and he's controlling Ultraman, right? And I don't know if we're going to reveal too much with Ultraman. That's kind of third act stuff. Saturday we'll talk about it. But Luthor Corp, he's set up like it's like Battleship. B-19 and Ultraman like punches Superman, and it's like he can see Superman's moves before he does them. Because Luthor, which is what I said Tuesday, is that I wish we saw Luthor kind of build up this knowledge of Superman in the film. It could have been a montage, but okay, you throw us into the film. Luthor knows all of Superman's moves off the studying him, and so it's like Battleship. C-14, boom, B, and Ultraman punches a certain direction, or he blocks a certain direction. He's controlling Ultraman. That's what Luthor is doing, and so he can beat Superman because Luthor has studied all his moves. So that landed more the second watch. I was like, okay, Luthor, he got his team and they know how to fight Superman with all these, they got these devices, these visual devices, so he can input to Ultraman what to do. So he dusts off Superman, right? So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. You got the whole international thing. But the funny thing with that, I will say this, that Gunn still gave you classic Luthor because Luthor wanted land, right? And there'll be more in the third act when we talk about it Saturday. But it's like Luthor has the same, he wants to kill Superman, yes. And he doesn't like that people are fawning over Superman. Luthor thinks he's, the greatest man on earth. And again, I wish we would have saw more of that backstory, but we were dropped into it. But it ends up like he just wants land, just like Gene Hackman Luthor, right? That's all Luthor wants, but he really just wants to kill Superman. So I thought I respected Nicholas Holt's performance more the second time because I knew what I was getting now. So I'm like, okay, let's kind of see what he did with what he was given. And I thought it was a pretty good setup. Did I say Gene Hackman? What did I say? I said Gene Hackman, right? Like what? With that. So interesting with that. But let's say for the first act, we saw all the trailers and footage that that we kind of see in the film. So the first act has been spoiled for us for months now. Overall with the film. But shout out to you, Carlos. But the one thing that really stood out for the first act of the film, because again, you know what's happening in this first act. Crypto, take me home. Okay, open the sequence. Luthor wants to kill Superman. He fights the Hammer of Baravia, the Hammer of Ultraman. Ultraman beats Superman in the first act and issues a warning for the foreign country, right? And then from there, you have the Clois, which is the strongest part of the first act of this film. The Clark and Lois interview scene. Watching it the second time, I didn't realize like how much time that this actually took. When I first saw it in the first time watching the film, I'm like, okay, you're flowing. Watching it the second time, I'm like, oh, Gunn spent a lot of time with this Clark and Lois dynamic early in the film, and that was actually a risk because you could have risked losing your audience with this relationship stuff. But it really gives you, some kind of monologue with what's going on with Superman in the world and what he did in the, intervening in that country. And then you see the best Clark and Lois moments in this first act. This is one of the best scenes in the film, the Clark and Lois interview. And you see Corn Sweat, like he's mad about the whole super shit thing and things like that online. Like it played out so well. Especially the second time watching it. So I was like, in the first act, though it kind of cut to the kaiju kind of sloppily, in my opinion. And you get the kaiju scene, which is really more setting up the Justice Gang. So I did like the brief moments I had with the kaiju because they were just big and silly, but then it introduced the Justice Gang. So it's like you kind of whip necking the first hour, the first act. Hopefully you're catching up, right? Because that's how fast this film goes in the first act, because I think they adjusted some things in this film in the editing. And then a lot of people are saying they have a problem with the editing. Because I think that was an issue in the first act. But the Clois part carries this film early. Like, when you get that scene and you're like, okay, you kind of jumped us into the kaiju stuff a little sloppy. And okay, we'll live with it. And because then you get to the moment where it's that inciting event where, because it's immediate. You start off with Crypto, take me home. Okay, Crypto. All right, fight the Hammer of Baravia, Ultraman. Okay, Clark and Lois. Okay, Lex goes into the fortress. Like it's that quick, right? That first act is quick. So much stuff happens, and then the kaiju comes, and then they put out, Jor-El wants you to take over the Earth, not just exist. So that does move a little bit too quick. But when you get to that point, and you get to the point where Superman is like, okay, they tapped into this video of my parents. How did they get it? Let me rush to the fortress, right? And he finds out they took Crypto. And so Superman is like, I'm going to turn myself in. Maybe they'll take me to where they're holding Crypto, the pocket universe, right? That's when this, because I will agree with most of criticisms of this film. In the first, you can't tell me nothing about Clois. Don't even touch that. You can't have that. That's a perfect scene, perfect performances. But everything in the first act, up to the kaiju, I give you that pacing issues and things like that. We could fight about that, right? We could debate. But once Superman turns himself in, and you got Metamorpho, Lois goes to the Justice Gang to say, okay, we gotta save Superman. Enter Mr. Terrific. Because first of all, I like the banter of the Justice Gang. It works good. It's not that corny. Was it Nathan Fillion? He's given every line. I'm like, I know this dude don't talk like that in real life. Like he's giving you everything he has, every single line he utters, and it does pay off in the third act. Saturday we'll talk about more of the third act, but Justice Gang, I like the banter. Enter Mr. Terrific, like it, and this is what I was alluding to Tuesday, because I want to give people time to watch this. Once you get past that first act, when Superman turns himself in, enter Mr. Terrific. This dude, he better have, and there's words that he's gonna have a spinoff project, series, film, I don't know, project. Mr. Terrific eats up. He just starts eating from the second act to the third act. Mr. Terrific is wonderful in this film. If you were fans of Mr. Terrific, you will love him in this film. If you didn't know who Mr. Terrific was, you will love him after this film. I mean, James Gunn, he does this with his films. He picks one character to beast out. And in this film, because like in his Suicide Squad film, he picked Harley Quinn, that Harley Quinn sequence, which was some of the best Harley Quinn stuff we saw in live action. James Gunn does this with Mr. Terrific. When I say warehouse scene, shout out to Gary. I'm sure there's Gary. When I say the warehouse scene, I'm saying like he's doing big things. He's doing big things with Mr. Terrific overall, and I'm glad he needs his own movie. He really does, or just like a series or whatever. But Mr. Terrific takes over the film in the second act. I can't say that more. You have to see it for yourself. I mean, he's top 3 smartest in DC Comics. He's up there with Batman with intellect. He has the tech. And then they don't dive into his background story in this film, just like they don't dive into any of these characters except Clark and a little bit Lois. A little bit Metamorpho. We'll talk about him in a moment. But comic readers know under the surface of Mr. Terrific, he lost his whole family. Shout out to Pop Culture Mindfield. I'm about to get y'all. Hey, fellas, I'm about to get y'all, you and Keith. We gotta chop it up about Superman over this weekend. If Saturday's gonna be kind of busy for me, but if Saturday don't work, Sunday I gotta get with my fellas. Talk about Superman. So I'll message you. I'll message you for sure. We want to chop it up about this. But like I said, we're past the first act. Again, any issues y'all have with the first act, we could talk about it. You can put it in the chat. A lot of people haven't even seen the film. You got a TGIF show tomorrow, Friday. I work during the day, but yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. But a lot of people that had issue with the film, they haven't seen the film. But it's like, So Mr. Terrific, I think is great. My issues I have with the first act, I already talked about it. And that really carries you. It really carries you through that second act because Superman's captured now in the Pocket Universe, and Metamorpho has the kryptonite. We all saw this. We alluded to this all in the trailers and stuff. And so you get to the point in the film, Mr. Terrific, Lois basically, says, hey, help me save Superman. So Mr. Terrific helps Lois, and Lois is having some great stuff. Rachel Brosnahan is great. Every scene she's in, she's great in this film. And they find the Pocket Universe. Mr. Terrific hacks into the Pocket Universe. And then you get to the point where, again, you have a good point with Metamorpho, where he has this morale issue that he lets someone dies in the Pocket Universe, long story short. So Metamorpho starts changing, but he knows that, they're keeping his child, Baby Joe. Though that's true. Baby Joe, the baby of Metamorpho, is in the Pocket Universe, and they're making Metamorpho, do bad things because he don't want his child to be killed, right? So once someone dies in front of them and Metamorpho's like, I didn't do what I should to help him, you see his character arc. And I give it to Gunn on this, man. Like, he does a good job with all, with some of these characters. Again, a lot of the characters don't have the depth, but he gives them their moments. As I was told a couple weeks ago, Hawkgirl really don't get her moment to me. But Mr. Terrific's great. We're talking about the Justice Gang. Guy Gardner has a pretty good moment in the third act. Metamorpho has a pretty good moment. There's a good turn in character, and then third act he steps up. I say Guy Gardner. Hawkgirl, I didn't really get. Hawkgirl was not she had her shrieks and stuff, but it wasn't enough. But we'll see what she does. Peacemaker next month, right? So we'll see more Hawk Girl and the Justice Gang. Overall, with that, and so we get to that point where they're trying to break out Superman. And I'm gonna kind of end this mild spoilers to this point in the second act where Lois and Mr. Terrific they get through the pocket universe and they find Superman and Crypto down there with Metamorpho and Baby Joe. And one of the worst sequences in the films, me, was that terrible I don't know, it was like a Minecraft soup down there where Superman falls down there with Baby Joe and it's taking like 10 minutes to rescue them. That was one of the worst sequences in the film. I was just like, okay, God, I know you was trying to fill up time at this point. With that scene. I didn't like how the CGI looked. I didn't like how anything looked. Once Superman breaks out of his prison, saves Baby Joe, and then it's like this weird gloppy stuff going on. It's hard for me to explain that. I didn't enjoy that. And then again, you're setting things up where Superman has a kryptonite poison. What I did like about Metamorpho too, in the prison. So he's holding Superman with the kryptonite. We saw that with the trailers. And then when Metamorpho has that change in heart, he's like, okay, I'm going to take away the kryptonite, go save my son, right? And it sets up that Superman, again, he's not this all-powerful. He needs time to heal. And I actually like that. I actually like how Gunn did this in this film. So Superman's like, the kryptonite's gone, but I'm still affected by this kryptonite. And I need a moment to kind of get myself together. And Superman's like, I need the sun. I need to be where the sun is at. So Metamorpho's like, oh, what's the elements of the sun? So he puts the hydrogen and everything together. And he no third act, please. And he creates this huge explosion of the sun, the effects of the sun. So Superman is regenerated. He breaks out, saves Baby Joe. Then you have that terrible CGI moment. There's no way I can accept that. So just kind of backing up for a moment, the first act of the film I thought was pretty good because of Clovis. The second act, Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho really helped the second act of the film because you had Superman kind of incapacitated and you needed some assistance there with that. So I think the second act was pretty solid as well too. No real extra points because, again, there was some rough editing in the first act and there was some rough CGI in the second act. The third act, which I'm not going to spoil now, but what I'm going to say is that James Gunn didn't fall into the third act CGI monster thing. He didn't fall into, just make this a big CGI battle. He topped off some stories, obviously with Clark and Lois, and with the whole Ultraman thing, which we'll talk about Saturday, some more cameos and things like that in the third act. I thought James Gunn stuck the landing with the third act, and definitely, I think that has to be given some kind of credit because third acts get crazy with these films. So what I will say, just overall, I'll give third act a little extra point with that. This film is a 3.5 to me, 3.5 DC film, CBM film, Superman film. I thought Man of Steel and the Donner films were near perfect. So I don't think this film is on that level. There's levels to this. But this James Gunn film, there's no way it's worse than the other Superman films, Superman 3, 4, Returns. James Gunn is literally, this film is literally over those. I gotta challenge people that's saying, oh, this film is unwatchable. So you think Superman 3 is the jam? Like, really? Come on. But it's not Donner level. And again, it's not Man of Steel level to me. Quintessential origin story, Man of Steel. This is an entertaining film. This is a safe film. This is what I will say as well, too. they took the safe route with this film overall. So this is a family film, in my opinion, watching the Superman film. And you didn't really again get into too many character arcs. It's more about Clark, Kal-El, Superman, and a little bit of Lois, a little bit of Metamorpho. You don't get Mr. Terrific's background story. He lost his whole family, so you don't get that in this film. But if you know, you know. If you read the comics, you're like, okay, Mr. Terrific, he's very dull because he lost his entire family, like in front of his eyes. What does that do to you? You know what I'm saying? Overall, with that. So even though it had a lot of these characters, and that first act again, it felt jumbled and a little messy. It smooths out. It smooths out second, third act, and it's about Clois. It's really about Clois overall with this film. So 3.5 out of 5. That is a 7 for most people. 7 out of 10. Again, I don't think it's the greatest film. I could rewatch this just like Aquaman. I think Wonder Woman 2017 is a much better together put film. Patty Jenkins 2017. So I give that more of like a 4. But I think it's right there with Aquaman with me. 3.5 out of 5. James Gunn's Superman. Well, again, a few more spoilers of what I liked about the film. And then again, before they got to the Pocket Universe, Mr. Terrific has his warehouse moment. This is his Harley Quinn out of Suicide Squad moment. Both screenings that I saw with Mr. Everyone was impressed with Mr. Terrific's that scene. If you weren't impressed by that, then you didn't like anything about this film. And I want to say this one more time too. This being a James Gunn film, this doesn't feel like Guardians of the Galaxy. It does not. I don't feel that the jokes undercut any moment. And I really challenge anyone, if you feel the jokes undercut any moment, let's discuss the moment you feel it undercut. Because I saw the film twice now. You got people that didn't even see the film that said, oh, my favorite YouTube reviewer says it undercuts moments. What moment? It's a lot of bad faith arguments with this. And I get it. Again, I understand the climate of DC and everything. And again, I'm not saying this film is the greatest thing they put out, but it's definitely not the worst. I'm not going to sit here and just allow, that as far as on my platform, I'm not going to allow that narrative that, oh, this is the worst DC film ever. No, it's not. It's not the best. It's not the worst. And I don't think it's mediocre. It's better than the mediocre films. But it's not top tier. No, I don't feel this is top tier DC. But is it watchable? Yeah, I think Gunn gave you an accessible for the family, accessible DC film, and it's setting up his world. It's setting the meta humans again. That the beginning, the opening sequence was one of the best openings that I've probably seen. Like, that was really cool, and the exposition in the film. Gunn did a great job writing that, and again, his actors, they did a great job performing that. And they worked with what they got with that, and I just think it's a solid film. I don't think it's the best of, it's not the worst of at all. And again, that's not me taking some middle ground. 3.5 is 3.5. That's 7. It's an okay film. Like, people should relax. If you don't like it, go watch Fantastic Four. Like, go watch Jurassic World. I don't know what you need to do, but this film is causing too much conversations, and it's not like the greatest thing ever. I understood the conversation with Sinners. That was like a phenomenon. That's not what we're talking about here. This is really a run-of-the-mill DC family film. That's all it is. It's nothing. It's nothing to make too much more of it. Overall, let's catch up with the chat before we close this out. Again, Pop Culture Minefield. I gotta hit y'all up because I would love to get y'all thoughts more about this film. Carl says a great start to the DCU. this is their template. Like this is like they're trying to see how right now is doing well with audiences according to the numbers, not according to Twitter. Your circle on Twitter. That's not what's determining these numbers. It's the actual data we get back. It's on track to do better than Matt Reeves' Batman Thursday. So what we think is going to do Friday and Saturday? We're going to find out. I'm going to be back live Saturday. We're going to find out what these numbers do. Again, I don't care about personal feelings. Results. That's all I care about now. Because people ain't keeping it real overall with that. If you want more DCU, then Gunn did his job. I think he's going to make enough money. So, okay, this is what I wanted to bring up. Hold up. Before we... And put your last minute comments or questions. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. But it's something I want to bring up before we close. Let's see here. We'll go here. I'm doing too much. Let's see. Can I blow this up some? Hold on. Okay, I think this comes across. So I put out there all of the, again, I've met different theater exhibitors the past 3 years. People Mikey Sutton introduced me to different sources with box office. So we've been following these numbers. But a good 3 years, I've been seeing how this formula works. And so I went ahead and put out there on Twitter, said this has all the markings. And actually, okay, no, let's go to the quoted tweet. Go to the quoted tweet first. All right, we're doing too much. They say WB execs want Superman to gross more than $500 million globally. That's been a number I've been telling y'all for over a year now, but okay. It's okay. It's not about credit anymore. It's about results. It says, just as importantly, Warner needs audiences to love what they see and to be eager for more because the movie is a launch pad for the new DC cinematic universe. I told y'all the number was 500 for the longest. You have people that's been watching my channel for years. I'm doing too much. They're so caught up in their personal feelings. They haven't been pumping what I've been saying this past year. That's all good. It's all good. But I've been saying it. Kind of get my credit. But I'm saying now, because I love when I put out a story and then people don't update the story. But now I'm saying 500 is not enough. I know now this is hitting articles now and trades now. The 500 number, which I've been saying almost 2 years now. I'm saying, nah, this film has all the markings. I'm talking about projections, forecasts, theater exhibitors, pre-sale numbers, Thursday numbers now that I'm factoring in now. I'm saying this film will make at least 700 million globally. You got the 120, 130, up to 130 opening forecast. We could talk about how those numbers work. People talk and they don't know how the numbers work. And then you have the international number, 100 million as well. Meaning this film will get over 200 million opening weekend off the jump. And I'm saying, I think this film will get 700 million because of all the films that I've tracked and the forecasts that I've covered for the past 3+ years. This is all the makings of a $700 million film. As I say, I'll go on record on that. And I did. I put that out there. And so with that, someone commented, probably because they read tweets too much. Gerald of the North, of North. Y'all may have seen this account on social media. This is a mutual of mine. We had disagreements and agreements over time with DC. Gerald of the North. He says, want to bet. I liked the tweet and I actually quote tweeted it. saying, "Yeah, I will publicly take that bet," because again, it's just the data. Y'all, people get so caught up in like, "Oh, so you feel because this film is so good?" No, I told y'all this film is not top tier, not top tier DC, not top tier Superman, but it's definitely watchable. But I think it's going to make his money because of the forecast. So he wants to bet with that. You got someone else saying wallet's closed. It don't matter if your wallet's closed. It actually don't matter if everyone else's wallet is open. I'm just saying. We could wallet close all day. What's that? This is showing wallets are projected to be open. I don't know how else to put this to people. Some of the people saying wallets closed saw the film. They paid money. Are we serious? What does wallets closed means? You don't spend no money, right? Is that what it means? Do you know? Let me kind of just educate a few people here. Uh, do you know if you have like a monthly movie subscription like the AMC, that if you elect to take a ticket for Superman, that they're going to count that as a paid ticket? Do you understand that? Like, your wallet's not closed if you went to the theater to see this film. anyway, um, last minute comments and questions. Comments and questions. Throw it in the chat. We're gonna close this one out, man. It's getting late. I gotta go to my day job, man. I can't be live at midnight right now. What we got in the chat? I feel it's gonna make his money, yo. No, it don't matter if you like it or not. It actually don't matter. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I don't know, and I'm gonna trust projections and again, people that I've rocked with for several years. If that ends up being wrong, then I mean it's gonna be the first time in like 5 years. We'll see. We'll see. But if you want to challenge that, just give me something specific. We'll talk about it. Tomorrow's gonna be very interesting. Tomorrow night, that CinemaScore, if that's A or A plus, I'm sorry. Like those that's going against this, it's gonna make his money. It's gonna take it. It's gonna make his money. I think it was a fun film, some really cool shit in the end. And the end, fun gets to go. Yeah. Like I said, it just my thing with Gunn. I was like, you don't gotta make the greatest DC or Superman film ever, but just don't mess it up. And I don't think he totally messed it up. First act got weird. You get past that kaiju and the whole thing that his parents, Jor-El really wanted him to take over Earth, like My Adventures with Superman. Right? That was that cartoon that the animated series just came out. You know, they had 2 seasons so far, right? And Jor-El was kind of like that in the animated series. So Gunn brought that to live action. Once you got past that, I think that the film was really. If he would have really hit from the first act, man, this would have been a 4-star film. Plus, you would have been challenged for one of the greatest superhero films ever if you would have got the first act right. But it's fine. It's fine. Hey, you introduce the world. You really pick up second act, third act, second act to third act. I'm locked in. I'm like, okay, Gunn's doing it. Gunn was doing it. I'm gonna give him his credit on that. Except that weird CGI part, that CGI soup in the pocket universe. And like I said, first act. That kept us from being like serious contention. But you didn't hit it. So that's what it is. You still can enjoy it. It's okay. All right, shout out to Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. We're gonna get something together. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna hit you up as soon as I end this off. We're gonna get something together for this weekend if possible. Adrian just seen Superman. We did some mild spoilers. Who got 15 accounts? you got boys that have 15 accounts. I don't like this film. I don't either. And it's like you go to 5 different accounts. I don't like it either. It's like that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't prove nothing. I'm just saying. Hey, these are the project. I trust these projections. I do, and I'm taking the 120. I said 100. Then when I found out haters was buying tickets for early event screenings, I said 120, and I said that a month ago. Now 120 is sounding pretty good. You can't say while it's closed and then you're buying tickets. I'm just saying. I want to break this to some people. If it was cool, do your thing. Don't front though. Don't front. Oh, I gotta see this. No. You said this is gonna be trash, so I know you ain't gonna like it. So you better off just not watching it. But these projections, though, this is what we're talking about. This is what it's talking about. And hey, if this doesn't get over 100 million, this will shake up the foundation of forecasts, like for all time. People say, "Oh, what about Megan 2.0?" We're not. You think Megan 2.0 is on the stratosphere of Superman? Now, what Blumhouse thought it was, and that's why it flopped. No, that's not on this level. What we're talking about, the marketing dollars they put into Superman. Well, Megan 2, no, bro. Oh, the Flash. Did you see the Flash opening weekend numbers? The projection the week of. Well, a month before they said 150. No, the week of Flash. Do you know what that projection was? Most people don't because they don't want to do the work. They just want to go off internet memes. All I'm saying is that everything that I've learned for the last 3 years plus about box office projections and everything, preview numbers, is all lining up to what this is saying. If it fails, then I'm like, hey, I'm not going to cover films anymore. because everything failed for this one movie. But no, I have a really good because of these Thursday numbers. This is gonna hold up. It's gonna hold up. Yeah. Let's see here. and thank you. This is all I wanted to get across. And I'm looking forward to our conversation because this is all I wanted to get across. Like people act like it's one or the other. Either it's the greatest thing ever or it's the worst thing ever. It's like, no, this literally is a film that's not the best DC film ever or Superman film ever, but it's not the worst either. That's literally what you got right here. And it's pretty watchable. It's a pretty watchable film. Just got to get through that first act. That's all. It's nowhere near down. We didn't even talk about those mythology, right? And it doesn't have to be. I love how you said that. Ain't about feelings. It's about money. So Saturday, we're gonna talk more about that Jor-El message. I'm gonna wait till Saturday because we got to talk more about that. Okay, what other problems you want to throw out there, Marvin J? I got a little time. I got about 10 minutes. People that again, this is my opinion. And one thing with Sil Nation, people that rocks with my streams for several years, that didn't get dumb along the way. I've always said it's about opinion, right? And all this jargon online, and I just want to hate stuff and things like that. I'm sorry, like I'm loving life too much, y'all. I just want to let y'all know right now, like just personally, I can't get caught up in all this negative stuff. I can't. If I don't like something, I just move on. If you don't like Superman, look forward to Fantastic Four. Stop talking about Superman. You know, you got people challenging projections and numbers. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. But that is what it is. That is what it is. But please, like, again, I told you my opinions. What problems do you have with the film? And I'll spend a few minutes and we'll talk about it. I've seen it twice now. I will say, Guy Gardner, I know I kind of brushed him off Tuesday. I was like, non-spoiler. I didn't want to really talk about him. Nathan Fillion is giving it to you. Every line he gives, like he's like full-throated and chest giving it to you. And I gotta appreciate that. Embracing the jerk of Guy Gardner. And then he does have a really good moment in the third act that we'll talk about Saturday. Where the Justice Gang, kind of saves the day in some capacity. So I'm gonna give it like solid. It wasn't much about Guy Gardner. It was just introducing this character exists, just like Mr. Terrific, just like Hawk Girl, just like the Daily Planet. You don't dive into Perry that much, but it sounds like they're gonna get this sequel, so you're gonna get more of the Daily Planet. Or if they do a spinoff with Jimmy Olsen and the Daily Planet, I could see that happening. This film has to make the necessary money for that, according to the projections, tried and true projections. Overall with that, so we'll see. We'll see with that, but I'm dying to hear like what you actually feel wasn't good. And Guy Gardner, a little more appreciation for Guy Gardner. I'm gonna give him that. I guess okay. We'll touch on this since we're on here. So wasn't that in My Adventures of Superman a little bit? Like what? That ruined the entire film for you? It's all good. But like that one aspect ruined the entire lore or what? I looked at it like that was how Kryptonians saw other worlds. So I didn't think it made Jor-El look bad. It was just like Jor-El, that's not how humans don't want to be ruled. And like I said, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think in My Adventures of Superman touched on that. Let's see. Supergirl don't like Superman. Okay, it's all good. Shout out to Anthony. Manzano said just subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. We're going to, again, on this channel, we're going to talk all notable DC stuff and other CBM Geek News, film, box office, plus the business behind it. But it starts with DC on this channel, whether we like it or not. We're going to talk about it. If this film lands with the projections, then we're going to have plenty to talk about with DC. We'll see. If it crashes and burns this weekend, it's going to be a heck of a story this weekend if these projections don't hold. And it's going to be like a super outlier. That's how crazy if it doesn't make this money that it's saying to make. But he says, can you see Superman making an opening weekend box office domestically 180? This is what I would say. And I don't know if my camera's messing up when I do this, but you got that great audience, Rotten Tomatoes, near perfect, right? If the CinemaScore is an A+ tomorrow night, then this film could do over 150. But I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if we're there yet. But it's about the audience. It's not about agendas online. They already won. The critics, they got the headlines with the critics. So you got the boomers and the older people. They're going to be looking at Rotten Tomatoes. So you're going to have some walk-up business this weekend. Both screenings I went to was an older crowd. Both times they had their Superman shirts and stuff too. So you got the older crowd. It's a family film. So you're going to get the kids this weekend. We get Gen Z, teens to mid-20s. Will you get them to go out on a Saturday and watch this film? We'll see. But I rely on the data and tracking, and so it's tracking. Like I said, 120. If it oversees that, then you're talking about a crazy turnout for Saturday, and that Gen Z would do that. So right now, I would say under. If I was betting someone right now, I bet someone that'll do over 100, and I think I'm going to win that bet. But 180, I'm going to take the under. If someone's giving me that bet right now, tomorrow that may change. But right now, like, nah, I still don't. 180, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, we got a reason. The reason is because it's a that's my language there. 4-quadrant film attracts children and repeats watches for families. When I say a 4-quadrant film, when anyone says 4-quadrant film, you're talking about man, women, older, younger. You get the full box. Disney live action films, they cheat Disney live action because the family's got to take the kids to go see it. But then you had Lilo and Stitch, Moana 2, Inside Out 2. Those are cheat codes, right? But this Superman film, I feel watching this twice now, this is a 4-quadrant film. This is for men. You got we want a little action, we want some cool stuff. Yeah, Mr. Terrific does have a little bit more than Superman in this film, just to be quite honest. And Guy Gardner has some cool moments as well. Metamorpho has some awesome moments as well. And Superman is strong. It's just, I just think the stronger, flashy stuff is with the other people, but it don't matter. You're going to get the bros, dudes, action dudes. You're going to get the boomers, the older audience. This is what I saw Tuesday and Thursday now, is that you have these all older couples going to see Superman. They got the advance tickets. Now, what I say with Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, that's more like younger crowds really going on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. So if you got that 95% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, or 90, we'll give it a 90 for 5,000 plus people on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And then I'm seeing older people, couples going to see Superman as early as they can. Oh, this is gonna make some money. This gonna make some money. But he says here, and I got 5 more minutes. I apologize. I go on my tangents. It's because it's a 4-quadrant film. It attracts children. Crypto got the kids. Crypto, it's a wrap. I don't know how else to tell you. I was upset at Crypto with the 5-minute preview. I was like, Crypto's doing too much. And when you get into the film, you're pulling for Crypto. I don't know how else. There's some dark-hearted people. If you weren't pulling for Crypto midway through this film when he got captured, then I don't know what to tell you. And then he has a great third act moment. So yeah, I think this is a 4-quadrant film. Again, for the women demographic, you got that relationship with Clark and Lois, and they pay that off throughout the film. Lois is a very strong character in this film, in a good way, is a performance way. So I think you're gonna get a women audience because of Lois and the Lois and Clark relationship. Like I said, children, Crypto, bros and boomers like the action, and Superman. You got a 4-quadrant film. That's what this is. Again, it's not about feelings. People get too caught up in feelings, man. Let's see. I want to catch some people that are saying what they didn't like. Supergirl, we got like 2 minutes. Anything you don't like, just not the third act. We don't want to spoil the ending. Maybe you don't like Supergirl. Did that spoil it? Okay, let's see. You had a problem with the trunks, the dog until the end, not enough lantern. Yeah, first act. I think most people that have a problem with this film, you're gonna find something in the first act, and I agree. Like I said, I agree. That's what keeps it from being a 4-star film, 4 out of 5, or a perfect film. The first act, and maybe Gunn, either he had a time trying to get into this film, or he had to cut out some stuff. Because, like I said, once Superman turns himself in, the film the film goes to the level it needs to go just to be a watchable film. Before that, the Cloa scene is the best thing going. And the kaiju, I will say, the kaiju didn't totally live up to what I wanted when you throw out a kaiju, but it was a nice introduction to the Justice Gang. So, see, the problems I had was the Gunnisms. And I would love an example. What moment was killed by a joke? Because I'm trying to think of it. Like, I kept saying going into this film, I was like, the one scene, I was like, I know for sure when I see this, it's going to be the worst joke that kills a levity moment ever.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
That joke landed. Two screenings now. Again, it's just my screenings. It doesn't mean the whole world. Like someone said, oh, my theater in Ohio was empty, so the whole world's empty. No, that's not how it works. but I'm just saying, in my two screenings, this joke landed. And they did a disservice to that moment putting that in the trailer because there was more dialogue before he said that. Once you saw what happened before he said that joke, you were like, oh yeah, like that landed. That landed. The online joke stuff, that landed in the film. So it just, I'm going to slap on the wrist to the marketing because you actually had a good moment right there. You didn't have to spoil. You didn't have to spoil it all. Let's see. I'm trying to hurry up and get through this. Fourth favorite Superman film. Oh yeah, but so Supergirl. So are you saying that means it's not, under the crappy Superman films, right? I think that's where it's at. It's right there in the middle. And that's okay. That's okay. It's not like the Donner films. And again, it's not like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. Totally different stories. All right, we're catching up because I got to close this out in, I say 2 minutes, but 1 minute. I got you, Gary. We're going to talk. We're going to talk, Gary, this weekend. We're going to get something together. Appreciate you. I'm looking forward to talking about this. Crypto is a cheat code in this film. I feel he is. Yeah, I don't know why people thought that was Cavill under. Oh, you didn't like Crypto, Supergirl? Oh, man. Oh, that's wild. No poop jokes. No, it was no poop jokes. The cannonball scene? Elaborate on that real quick. Cannonballs? Why are all the boys crying? What are you talking about? Podcast? Hey, podcast. Hey, like Ma can't say it. And Martha was like, "Hey, he's a big mush." I mean, I don't know. That was a choice, but I think Mr. Terrific was pretty strong. I think Guy Gardner, again, he was a jerk throughout. He had a really pretty cool moment at the end with the little boy. Well, the guy we had, Jimmy was like a stud. Like what? I'm just throwing it out there. Like not all the dudes was crying. I'm just throwing it out there. That's my point. You're talking about this scene here.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
It's like both times my theaters laugh. I was like, oh, because I was dreading. I was like, oh, this is gonna be, but it landed. It landed. Interesting stuff. Supergirl said, Man of Steel. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's exactly. Well, first off, how I rank these films. The original is the original. So I'm not going to put anything over Donner's original. I'm just not. A lot of us grew up, several generations grew up saying that this was Superman. So I would never put nothing again in front of Donner's original Superman. But I do put, yes, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is right up there with it. And Superman 2 with the Kryptonians is right there, or just a leg behind those. And then this Superman, yes, is, I think, quintessentially right after those, but it's not like the worst thing ever. That's I'm sorry. I watch films all the time. And this wasn't just like a terrible trash film. In my opinion, it wasn't. So, and it may have the money to back that up. So I got to slide on out of here. Again, I just want to come out here and talk about these numbers, but I got to, get some rest myself. But we may do some later streams. Now that I'm seeing we can get a little crowd when we do these 9:00 Eastern Standard Time streams. So I may throw in some more during the week when it works. But I got to go and crash on out. So like I said, my Superman score, 3.5 out of 5. First act was a little wonky, but Clois was a very highlight of that first act. I thought it was some of the best stuff Corn Sweat did in the first act and in the third act, just as an actor. I thought he was great. And then Lois is great throughout. Second act, that supporting cast, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho's turn. Mr. Terrific has the whole hallway scene moment. Is great. And in the third act, I think James Gunn didn't fall into the third act CGI monster situation. So I give that a little bonus bump because most people fall apart in the third act. Second act, very strong to me because of Mr. Terrific. First act, questions, 3.5 film. Not perfect, but it's watchable. I'll definitely watch it several more times. It'll be a part of my collection. And we just go from there. That's just what it is. We're going to sign on out Saturday. Full spoilers. We're going to talk more about the third act Saturday. And we're going to know more about the box office. What's going on with the box office? It's going to be real. Let me get on out of here. Much love to Syl Nation. Till next time.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, Syl? We need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Syl. We need to know the ins and outs. Who's walking out, buying in? We need to know your thoughts on what you do to stream.